Before we start, I would like to spend some time explaining who we are as an organization and what we do. So the Career Accelerators is an organization that is focused on helping people make that transition. So when I moved to, and we are based in Canada, by the way, when I moved to Canada 2 years ago, one of the biggest questions I had in my mind was, how do I secure a job, basically? How do I, get into the system, get into the workforce? And that was the biggest question in my mind. And things weren't as affordable as I expected. So it was quite important that I secure a role as quickly as possible. So then I started applying for jobs. Because I had business analysis background, I was applying for business analysis jobs. And within about 7 weeks, literally, I got about 5 offers. So within about 5 weeks, I had 3 offers. Within 7 weeks, I had 5 offers in total. Now, straight away, I was thinking, is there a way I can do all these 5 jobs and obviously make the money? Because I think the minimum then was, it was about $80,000 per annum. So it was one of those positions where I just thought about it. There were these opportunities available for people to take advantage of because these guys wanted a knowledgeable business analyst to help them move their organization forward, right? And I'm just one person. I'm unable to take all 5 jobs. So that kind of pushed me to set up this organization to empower people, to equip people with the knowledge, to equip people with the skills. Because when you think about it, if I'm able to give everything I know to someone else, then they'll be able to take up those 4 other jobs, right? And we'll be able to, make that money as opposed to that opportunity going to people I don't know. So that was how we started this organization. That was how we started, coaching people, providing information and knowledge to people. So our strategy is to provide practical knowledge based on industry standards. And our mission is to provide a sure path to career success. And our vision ultimately is to become your career partner of choice. So when you want to make a career decision, the first thing you do is to reach out to us as an organization. Okay. So that is who we are. That is who the Career Accelerators is as an organization. About me personally. So my name is Stephen Adindu, and I am the lead coach at the Career Accelerators. I have been in the sphere of business analysis and project management for about 10 years now. And I have quite a few professional certifications. So in North America, the highest business analysis certification is the CBAP, which is the Certified Business Analysis Professional. So I do have that. And in project management, the highest and most recognizable professional certification actually in the world is PMP, Project Management Professional. I do have that as well. Before I moved to Canada, I used to be in the UK. The highest qualification in project management in the UK is Prince 2. I do have that. And when it comes to business analysis, the highest is from the BCS, or the British Computer Society, which is a diploma in business analysis, and I do have that. I'm also a certified Scrum Master, a certified Scrum Product Owner. So I have a lot of knowledge. I have a lot of experience. I have a lot of, when it comes to business analysis, I have a lot of knowledge from different environments. Actually, I've worked across 3 different continents in this area. So I've had the opportunity of working with people from different backgrounds, from different industries. So currently I work with one of the government agencies here in Canada. Before then, when I was in the UK, I used to work with the utilities industry, or work within the utilities industry. And I also worked in a bank and manufacturing industry in the past. So I do have quite a few experience. I have a lot of experience across different industries. And that's part of what I will be sharing with the team today. That's part of what I will be sharing with everyone today. Another question that I was going to ask is, can I really earn up to $65 per hour? Now, I've been asked this question numerous times. You say $65. That is a whole lot of money. Like, is it possible? Well, I will, because we believe in facts, because we believe in numbers, we believe it's not just about me telling you you can do it or you cannot do it. It's more about you seeing for yourself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and show you something that I pulled up literally this morning, a set of stats that I pulled up this morning that would show you or answer that question for you, right? So let's find out. I'm going to share my screen, and this is a Google search. You can do this yourself. It's on Indeed. Please let me know if you guys can see my screen. Because I'm sharing an Indeed page. Okay, so Demola has just confirmed that she can see my screen. Sarah's confirmed that she can see my screen. That's fantastic. So let's go through. What I've done is I've just searched for a business analyst role on Indeed in London, in the US, and in Canada. And I'll go through a list of these jobs so you can see not all of them has the salaries associated with the role, but there are some that have salaries associated with the role, and you will see how much these roles pay. So we have $29,000. So this is business analyst in London, in the UK. We have $29,000 to $32,000 a year, which is fine. We have $50,000 a year. Sorry, £50,000 a year, which is fine. We have £600 to £700 a month, okay, which is fine. I think that should be a day as opposed to a month. So we have $59,000 to $67,000. Sorry, £1,000. I'm in Canada, guys. Apologies. Yeah, I used to speak in pounds. Now I'm speaking in dollars. I need to go back to pounds for a bit. So we have, almost £60,000 to £67,000 a year. We have £36,000 to £42,000 a year. We have 24 to 38. We have 43 to 63 a year. We have 450 to 650 a week. So this should be daily rates. And by the way, I know people that make £400 a day in the UK. So that I know that for a fact. So this is just in the UK, right? 40,000 a year, 35,000, 400 to 500 a week. So these are some of the roles, some of the pay for some roles. So let's go to the US. So this is the US. We have $68,000 to $83,000 a year, Alabama, and this is a remote role. That is key because these days with the COVID-19, you have a lot of roles becoming remote. We have $62,000 a year. We have $85,000 to $120,000 a year. We have 30 to 40 an hour. We have 60 to 65 an hour. We have 65 to 80 a year. We have 65 to $95,000 a year. So this is US, and here in Canada we have 60 to 72 a year. We have 38 to 45 an hour. We have 91 to 96 a year. We have 65 to 80 an hour. Like I said, I'm not going to just tell you it's possible. I'm going to show you that it's possible. And I hope that will convince anybody that is still in doubt whether it's possible to earn up to this amount, that it is definitely possible. We're going to look at business analysis. From a definition perspective, or as an overview, business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. So business analysis provides a framework for helping organizations effect change. Now, it could be an IT change, it could be a process change, it could be a people change. It helps to understand the needs of the business and proffer or recommend solutions to help meet those needs and ultimately deliver value for stakeholders. Okay. In terms of what business analysts do on a day-to-day basis, business analysts are responsible for requirements engineering or collecting information. one secret I would like to let you guys in on is when you hear or when you see a job description, you see some technical language in there, such as requirements engineering. The first thing that might occur to you is, I'm not an engineer. These guys need engineers. Or this sounds too technical. I can't do this. Or this sounds like it's going to require a lot of calculation. The reality, guys, is requirements engineering is simply collecting information, analyzing the information, documenting the information, and presenting the information. That's what it is. Requirements engineering makes it sound fancy, makes it sound super complex, but it is as simple as this. You collect information from people, you analyze the information, you document the information, and then you present the information. So to do this, you need different sets of skills and techniques and knowledge and tools to do this. But it's as simple as that. Collect, analyze, document, and present or communicate or share. That's all you do. So that's what business analysts do. And to be honest, this is a typical BA will spend 60 to 70% of their time working on requirements. And then you have process modeling. So this is where you create processes within your organization. This is where you help the organization to document the steps they take to carry out activities. And then we have stakeholder management, which is simply how you relate with people. And then we have facilitation, which is communicating with people, being able to coordinate a conversation, being able to extract information from multiple people. So you facilitate a meeting. So these are some of the core activities that a business analyst carries out. Now, one key thing you will notice is I've not said anything like, calculate algorithms. I've not said anything like to program. I've not said anything like to use C# to write a code. The reason is simply because you don't need any of that. All you need is a set of skills, a set of techniques, and just be ready. Just know how to communicate, know how to talk to people to get information, know how to talk to people to give them information, and know how to use these business analysis techniques, business analysis tools, which we'll see in a second. And in some cases, software applications that make it easier to do business analysis work or to do project management work. So Anna asked the question, what makes BAs different from PO? So a BA is a business analyst. A PO is a product owner, I'm assuming, Anna. And the role of a product owner is different because product owners it's a role within an agile environment. It's not a role in a traditional waterfall environment. The product owner is, and I'm answering your question specifically, Anna. I don't want to go into too much detail around product ownership. So I'll just answer your question just for you. So a product owner is responsible for determining the what needs to be built. Okay, so a couple of questions are coming. I'll try and take them as quickly as possible. A product owner is responsible for deciding what needs to be built and prioritizing what needs to be built in an agile environment. Now, the BA can support or can second as a product owner, but a BA is not a product owner. They are two different roles. Now, the other side of that question is it depends on how the organization is applying their agile or implementing their agile. Some organizations have a hybrid method where they have some waterfall techniques as well as some agile techniques. So it all depends on the organization, but the role of a PO is different from the role of a business analyst. So Simon had a question, difference between the BA and the data analyst. So the difference is BA is business analysis focusing on requirements and everything we've talked about so far. The data analyst is more focused on the data elements of the requirements. So for example, you might have some data changes required. You might have some new data items that need to be modeled. So the role of a data analyst is specifically looking at data extracting data, transforming data, loading data, manipulating data, etc. And that's where SQL comes in. In some roles, they may expect you to have knowledge of SQL, but that's where SQL comes in so SQL is a tool used for data management or data querying or data manipulation. Some BAs do have that knowledge. Some BA roles require SQL, but an ideal BA role, a traditional business analyst role, does not require SQL. It's pure, you work with the business, gather requirements, you hand over those requirements to the design and development team. They are responsible for designing the solution, building the solution, and the BA supports with user acceptance testing. These days, organizations are trying to get the BA to do more, including get the BA to maybe even second as a project manager, or get the BA to second as a developer, which is where the role of a business systems analyst comes in. But ideally, the BA should be a standalone role. Okay, so I hope that clarifies those questions. We'll carry on. So roles available for the business analyst include, core business analyst, process analyst, systems analyst, product manager, business systems analyst. Now, the thing is, the BA skill set can be used by people in all these roles. So it mustn't be a core business analyst role. It could be something else. It could have a slightly different tag, which could be a business systems analyst or a systems analyst even, or process analyst. Another thing to bear in mind is, depending on the organization you work for, they may have a completely different name for a business analyst. So I know organizations that call their business analysts solution specialists, for example. So someone might see that and decide, oh, this is something techie. Another secret that would help you during your job search is always look at the job description itself. Don't settle at the job title level. Just look into the job specs, because you could have a product manager role and then you look into the job spec and you realize, wait, this requires someone that can create user stories. This requires someone that can, facilitate meetings. This requires someone that can elicit requirements. I can do all that. So I'll go ahead and apply for this role. Okay, so that's another key secret to bear in mind. Now, when it comes to certifications within the BA space, there are quite a few. And for business analysis, there are different levels. So you have the IIBA, which is the International Institute of Business Analysis. So they have different levels. They have the ECBA, they have the CCBA, they have the CBAP. ECBA is like an entry level. So it's entry certificates in business analysis. CCBA is the intermediate level. And then CBAP is the expert level. So I do have the CBAP, which is the highest. And then on the other hand, you have PMI that has a business analysis certification as well. So it's PMI PBA, Professional Business Analyst, I believe. And then you have BCS, which is the British Computer Society. They do have their own list of business analysis certification. The interesting thing about BCS is, again, think about that concept of Prince 2 being UK based, PMP being, I'll just say the rest of the world because that's what it is. BCS is UK based as well. So UK, Ireland, all the neighboring countries, they use BCS because it's British Computer Society. But then outside the UK, you have IIBA. So IIBA is more recognized, which is the CBAP. It's more recognized than BCS in this part of the world. So one thing to mention is BCS they have like the entry level. Within the entry level, there are multiple certifications. They have the intermediate level. Within the intermediate, there are multiple certifications. They have the experts, multiple certifications. And then they have the diploma, which is not a certification. It's actually an interview. So you go for a face-to-face interview where you're interviewed by BCS personnel or people that work with BCS. So now that we have a good knowledge and understanding of what business analysis is all about, so how do I become one? How do I go from where I am to becoming one? How do I make that transition? And at this point, I think it might be worth very quickly telling a story. I used to work in customer service before I made that transition, and this was immediately after my master's. Needed something to keep body and soul together. And guys, by the way, if you're doing a role where you're just keeping body and soul together, it is part of the process. The key is don't stay there. Always aspire to move. Get more. So at that point, I was doing that role, and I wanted to make that transition, but I didn't know how until I found a friend that handheld me through the process. And it helped me a lot because I had that support as I transitioned. And we'll talk about some of that in this particular lesson or part. In the same way, a day in the life of a business analyst include activities such as meeting with clients to determine project requirements, preparing for meetings, conducting meetings, facilitating meetings, creating documents, documenting the BRD or business requirements document, creating mock-ups, creating test scripts, etc., communicating with vendors, answering questions on design and requirements. Because remember, once they finish analysis, they hand over the requirements to the designers who will design the solution and hand over to the developers to build the solution. Now, whilst they're designing and developing, there may be questions. It's the role of the BA to clarify those questions. Coordinate with UAT and deliver training to end users. So someone mentioned coordinating UAT. Definitely the BAs do that. And they also support with training the end users. And then lastly, they do a lot of research and analysis. Sometimes you have a BA utilizing a technique called document analysis. This is where they take a document, analyze the document to extract key bits of information from the document, such as requirements, such as business rules, such as business process steps. So they do a lot of research and analysis as part of their day-to-day activities. So that's typically a day in the life of a business analyst. We're going to look at some required skills, and these are everyday skills. For example, you need to be a team player. You need to be solution focused. You need to be able to think about what are we trying to achieve as part of this process or as part of this project. You need to be a problem solver. You need to be a fast learner. You might find yourself in an organization where, let's say, for example, you don't have any cybersecurity knowledge and you get a job with a cybersecurity organization. What you need to do is to learn what is cybersecurity, build your knowledge on that particular area. One thing I always say to people is, rather than if there is a skill that is in demand in the area you're looking to go into, rather than say to yourself, I don't have this skill, and as a result, I'll take it out of my resume. Why don't you change that language a little bit and say something like, I need this skill, I will put it in my resume, and then I would learn the skill so I can justify it. So rather than running away from the issue, it's always better to confront the problem. It's always better to take proactive steps to learn it. We've all had the opportunity to learn stuff in the past, whether it's learning how to ride a bike, learning how to drive a car. I don't think there's anybody in existence that just woke up, got into a car, and the first try, they were able to drive a car. I don't think that's possible. Or, just woke up one morning, picked up a bike, and they can ride a bike. I don't think that's possible. There is a process, and that process applies to any skill you need to succeed, any knowledge you need, any technique you need. You learn it, and you go through the process of learning. Okay, so another skill is you need to be stress resilient. Sometimes you might have people that may be frustrated, maybe going through personal situations, and as a result, they may say things to you. You don't have to take those things personal. You need to be stress resilient. You also need to be a creative thinker. You need to be customer oriented. You need to be a good communicator. Now, these are 8 skills I've listed on the screen. I don't think there's any of these skills that we don't have. I don't think there's any skill in here that we don't exhibit literally on a day-to-day basis, right? So these are skills that we already have. Then the question is, how can we take these skills and transform these skills or utilize these skills to start making $65 an hour, £55 an hour, $120 and per annum, etc. And that's why we're on this course. Okay. So two things to remember. One, there are techniques, there are business analysis techniques. There are tools that business analysts use. There are tools that business project managers use. There are techniques that project managers use. There are skills that are applicable. So skills, we tick in the box, we're good on the skills part. But then there's a technique, there's a software applications. So this is where the learning comes in. We'll need to learn these techniques. We'll need to learn these tools. Not just learning them, you also need to learn how to apply them. Because one thing is to have the knowledge. Another thing is, how do I apply this knowledge that I have? And this is some of the things that we'll talk about. But firstly, we've talked about the skills. Now we're going to look at some of the software applications that business analysts and project managers use on a day-to-day basis. This is not an exhaustive list, but it just provides an idea of what opportunity or what tools are out there that you can use. Some of these tools, you may have heard of them before, others you may have not heard of them. So we have HP ALM. This is HP Application Lifecycle Management System. So this is used for requirements engineering. You have Trello, which is used for collaborating with other members of the team and monitoring tasks on a project. You have our everyday Microsoft Office, which is easily the most vital tool on this board, because you can't do without MS Word, you can't do without MS Excel, you can't do without PowerPoint, you can't do without Outlook. So these are some key tools that we use on a day-to-day basis as business analysts and as project managers. You have Microsoft Visio, which is used for process modeling. You have Microsoft Project, which the project managers use for project planning. You have Mockflow, which is used for creating mock-ups, screen prototypes, sketching wireframes. You use Mockflow for that. You have the most popular requirements management tool in the world today, Atlassian Jira. Jira is one tool that has gained massive usage over the past 10 years. It's lightweight, it's easy to use, it's used by literally all organizations today. Very closely related to Jira, you have Confluence, which is also used for collaboration and working with other members of the team, and also document management. So these are some tools that we use on a day-to-day basis. You have TFS, which is used for requirements management. You have Zephyr, which is used for testing. So when you create test cases, you need to manage your test cases. You have Zephyr that helps you do that. In terms of why choose us, Nina mentioned some of these, but I'll also go through them real quick. So we will do a comprehensive CV review for you. Most times we have lots of knowledge. We've used important tools, but we're not aware of those tools. We don't know how to extract that information and tell a story on our resume. We'll do that for you at TCA. We'll help you tell that story. We'll give you a resume that will get you results. That I can guarantee you. You also get access to the live project experience, which is for 12 weeks, where you go from initiation through to implementation of a real life project. Currently, we're working on the OCAP project, which is building an online advertising platform for one of our clients. So like a Kijiji or a Gumtree it's got some eBay features in there as well. So that's what we're building. We'll prepare for an interview. We have experienced tutors. You will gain Canadian experience, or you gain experience because we'll give you reference, and you get one-on-one mentorship as well. So every single student, this is something we're going to kickstart in August. Every single student will have a dedicated mentor for them. Any question you have that person to reach out to. So there you go, a robust introduction to business analysis and how TCA can help you secure that role as a business analyst. Now, normally our program will cost you $1,500. However, because you have watched this video till the end, we will be offering you a unique one-time discount of $500. So if you sign up today, you'll be paying just $1,000. And also please note that installmental payments are also available. So what are you waiting for? There are no more excuses. Get in touch today to secure your slot and start winning as a business analyst.